The ending of the first episode of WandaVision is leaving a lot of people with a lot of questions, and we don't seem to have many answers of what exactly is going on. But let's get to that ending, and let's talk about what it actually means and what it's trying to say. So as you can see as I slow down the clip, we find out at the end of the first episode of WandaVision that Vision has the ability to take us to the credits of the first episode, and also that everything we just witnessed is actually happening with somebody in a sword facility watching what is going on inside of a TV. Effectively, they just watched the same thing we just watched. So yes, they have officially broken the fourth wall in a certain way in the MCU. Now, the scene that leads to this is we see Wanda officially use her magic to make sure that we know that they are now a married couple by zapping rings onto their fingers. And then Vision says, and I quote, "and they lived happily ever after," as he lifts up the remote, points it at the screen, and takes us out into the credits. As the credits roll, again, they pull out and we see somebody is watching the TV in a sword facility. Now, earlier in the episode, when we hear strange sounds coming into this strange town and it's calling out to Wanda, we can hear, and I quote, "who is doing this to you?" And it sounds, it's like Jimmy Woo, who of course we've seen frequently in the Ant-Man movies, specifically Ant-Man and the Wasp, as he's the officer keeping tabs on Scott Lang. Now we know that he is officially a part of SWORD, and we see in the trailers that SWORD seems to have some sort of a mobile facility that they move around. So I think what this is all telling us, and this would be the most basic version of what I think could be happening, is that Wanda is very much aware of everything that has gone wrong. She has effectively had a breakdown and her walls are crumbling. An outside force, more than likely Agatha Harkness, who is working with the Reaper, have decided to manipulate her and tap into her powers, which throughout the first and second episode, we see that she is way more powerful than we've ever seen before, as she is able to effectively take something and reverse it into a previous version of what it is, like when she took a full chicken and just straight up morphed it into eggs. SWORD is on the outside seeing what she is creating in this world on the inside. They are trying to get in with any type of technology or way that they know. We see this with the beekeeper, but then she reverses it. We see that Monica is already in there, but she doesn't really know what's going on. She's currently just one of the people. And every which way you look at it, everybody seems to be aware of something weird going on, but nobody acknowledges it. The acknowledgement of Vision at the end understanding that they're being watched and shutting off the TV, the second episode transitioning to much later and a different style, tells me that they're tapping into Wanda's fragile mind, trying to manipulate her into doing what they want. And we see whatever enters this place that they're in does not come out the same. So on the other end, when we see the person watching this, they are watching it because they're able to tune into the frequency. And I think this is something that you see throughout the first two episodes. As things start to go wrong, you start to see almost like this wavelength of sorts that starts to, in a staticky way, morph things and almost phase them out of existence or phase them into something else. So my guess is that they are already trying to abuse Wanda in a fragmented state of mind, and that they're sort of pulling the strings here, making her do it. And we see that Vision is one of her puppets, because it definitely comes off in a weird way where, yes, this is Vision, but he's not entirely the same Vision we've seen. There's something off about him, which I think will further be explained as this goes on, and we definitely see that at the end of the first episode, that it's not all as it seems.